Welcome back to Game Over Edmonton. Thanks so much for being here. Happy New Year to everyone. It seems there's 20 people watching right now. I haven't been on, it feels like, in forever, so I'm super happy to be here, and I'm also ecstatic to not be solo. I'm joined by Liz from Game Over Winnipeg, which is fantastic. Super excited to have you on. We're gonna get into the Jets, we're gonna get into the Oilers, we're gonna break down that entire, calamity of what that was. Because for me, that is one of the most frustrating games I have watched this year, which is a really impressive thing to say considering the last game I did, the Oilers lost to the Anaheim Ducks. So, yeah, I just want to, before we get into it, I want to thank, Dennis and Avery for carrying the show when I wasn't here. I want to wish everyone hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate, and obviously, depending on where you are, Happy New Year. Maybe it's not the New Year yet, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I see Dennis in the chat says he's ready for an emotional Zach. I can't even get mad with that. But I was mad after the Ducks game. I'm not mad. I'm frustrated. But yeah, we're gonna get into all that. We're gonna talk about the goaltending. That's, I think, where the most of my frustration lies in this game. But when we were talking about the game, we said that this was the battle of mid, pretty much. Both teams. AHL lineups, injuries galore. The Oilers missing Kane, missing Draisaitl. I know you're missing Scheifele. Not Scheifele, sorry. You're missing Wheeler. Yeah, Wheeler.
So that's
Ehlers.
The one player I have.
Yeah,
that's
the
one guy I have.
Ehlers. Cole Perfetti is out of the lineup. Josh Morrissey just came back. So, that's obviously really good. He's kind of what everyone thinks Darnell Nurse is in Edmonton, but not. So we are going to talk about all that. But before we get into all that stuff, I got a message from our friends at Sports Interaction. Think you know what way it's going to go? Make your bet with Sports Interaction. Whether it's hockey, football, or basketball, Sports Interaction has you covered. Bet pregame, live and play, or on one of our many prop bets. Sports Interaction makes it easy to deposit, play, and cash out. Join now and see all that sports betting has to offer. Want to bet? Head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. That's sportsinteraction.com/SDPN. 19 plus. Please play responsibly. All right, Liz. So I'll ask you, as the resident Jets fan on the broadcast and as the winning team. Oh, you know what? Actually, off the top, I think we should mention, before the game, Liz messaged me and said, we need to have a bet because it is New Year's and we got to do something fun. And the loser was going to have to take a shot of some gross alcohol. And pretty much, I was supposed to go to the liquor store. I got really lazy. I didn't go to the liquor store. I was trying to think of like fancy stuff to do. Oh, should I just do what should I drink as the loser on the broadcast and whatever. Anyways, I kind of copped out, but I made sure to get a bottle of tequila before the show started. I've got my Leon Draisaitl shot glass right here.
Rest in power to our boy. Rest in power.
I know, the sassy bitch. We all miss him. I love Leon so much, and I'm pouring a shot right now. Full shot right to the brim. Happy New Year's, everyone. I'll take this shot.
Jack Campbell, this one's for you.
Jack Campbell makes me drink. Because of Jack Campbell, I should take two more. Okay.
Jack Campbell, this one's because of you. There you go.
Oh, I'm not a drinker.
Gotta applaud.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I will humbly take that L. But let's get into that. Let's get into that frustrating performance. Let's see. I was gonna message you halfway through the game, like, what a garbage game to do together. Hey, I remember the Oilers playing the Jets, and I think it was, I want to say New Year's a couple of years ago, or even the Heritage Classic, where it's like the Jets are up 3-1, the Oilers end up winning 4-3. Like they always seem to be really close or really tight. Ehlers always seems to play out of his mind, and he was clearly missing in this game. Oh my God, that shot, man. But yeah, no, that was a rough game. From your perspective tonight, overall, what'd you see?
Yeah, so I do think you bring up a funny point because both of our teams, I know people talk about them often as being, top heavy and they're bad at defense and they don't have depth and all that kind of stuff. And tonight it was like, why are our goals coming from Neil Pionk and a Kyle Connor tip in front of the net, which might be his second ever in his career? And so I think that is kind of funny to, completely not align with our narrative on that. But my thought on the Jets tonight they were just bad. When I was watching them, obviously we were talking a little bit before, the injuries are few and far between. Like they're everywhere within the different lineup. First line, second line, third line defense, everywhere, right? So, my issue tonight was particularly with the puck management on the Jets part. I thought that they struggled to break out of their own zone. They weren't putting as much pressure on the Oilers. Like I was comparing the two teams in zone 5-man defense, and I felt like as soon as the Jets had some possession in the Oilers zone, that defensive court was pushing them out. They were jumping on them. They were able to, strip those pucks and get that possession back. And I felt it was complete opposite with the Jets. They were collapsed in. They couldn't get anything back. And as soon as they did have that possession, it was gone within seconds. Like I don't even want to know what the possession numbers look like tonight. That's what led to those few shots. So that was my thoughts.
The Oilers usually are a really weak team at defending the blue line. Like their entry defense is notoriously really, really weak. And tonight, for whatever reason, I saw NHL Sid, Oilers Nation writer, tweeting about it. Tyson Barrie turned into an entry denial god. Philip Broberg and Evan Bouchard both played fantastic. Like the Oilers' defensive pairings weren't an issue, which has been one of like the core major themes of the entire season about just mental lapse after mental lapse after mental lapse, and there wasn't any of that tonight. The Oilers aren't really a very strong 5-on-5 possession team, and this is a game where I know, like, if you look at the deserve to win meter, and I haven't looked at my natural stat page hasn't loaded fully yet here, but if you look at the possession numbers, the Oilers dominated the 5-on-5 possession, which is not typical for this Oilers team, which is another reason why this game was so frustrating. The thing about the Oilers is, when you go to like their core, and Connor Hellebuyck played good, full credit to him, whatever. They don't have any finishers. They have no finishers down low in their lineup, right? Like you can see Jesse right in front of the net always, and he scored last game against Seattle, but this game, I swear to God, 30 seconds to every single period, Jesse Puljujarvi had a glorious grade A chance, and right, he just couldn't capitalize, and that's why there's so many Oilers fans that are just done with the guy, right? Because you play almost your entire career on a line with McDavid, you gotta capitalize, and he wasn't doing that. The one guy who all of a sudden has a shooting percentage spike is Klim Kostin. He played awesome, but obviously the first goal of the game was in the first period, scored by Neil Pionk, one of the most random Twitter villains for the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, actually, I shouldn't say that. I understand.
So you have to understand.
Like, but I feel like, so you guys, Jets fans, don't like Neil Pionk. Is that?
I don't. No, okay. He seems like a fun guy. He's just he's had a frustrating year, and last year was frustrating a little bit as well.
Okay. Because yeah. I remember, like, when you go back to, like, the bubble and when the Oilers would play the Jets before that, Neil Pionk was the guy tasked with shutting down McDavid. And there was that instance, that game, where Neil Pionk hit McDavid knee on knee. And ever since, I'm not sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's ringing a bell. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was that whole series. There was a storyline with the two of them, but I forgot that there was that included in that.
Yeah. I think it was before that. But because of that play, he has consistently been a villain on Oilers Twitter. Like, there's Matt Tkachuk, and there's a couple others around the NHL. But underratedly, every time the Jets play, if you went on Oilers Twitter, you just see, I've never seen more Neil Pionk slander in my life. Oilers fans hate him. So for him to get a goal and factor in on the game-winning goal was just poetic justice, at least for Jets fans. And it just rubs salt into the wound for Oilers fans. It was, that just makes it a little worse. It was also, I think the Neil Pionk hit on McDavid came right after Mark Giordano did that knee-on-knee thing and injured McDavid, and he fucked up his knee real bad. But yeah. Right. Anyways, so that's what I was going to say about that. But that goal itself, to me, I know there was a debate on the broadcast, garbage. I'm sorry, Jack Campbell has one of the worst high-danger save percentages in the NHL. Like, by a significant margin. His low danger and medium danger are actually fine. Like, he's stopping. This is the thing with Campbell that I haven't heard many people talk about. He stops what he needs, or what he should be stopping when someone takes a shot from 30 feet out. Now, obviously, there's been a few floaters here that have gone through his glove, whatever. But it's his high danger. It's his cross crease. It's every time that it seems like he can't track the puck. He doesn't know where his crease is. He loses his post. His tracking of the puck and his management of the crease just it boggles my mind. Early in the first, Josh Morrissey he jumped up in the rush and kind of walked Evan Bouchard, and he took a shot and he ended up missing the far post by about a couple feet, whatever. But Jack Campbell looked so out of position on that play. Like, if Morrissey even labeled it anywhere near the top corner, that would have been in. Like, to me, Jack Campbell, it's just another rough game, and it's getting to a point where, at least for Oilers fans, we do not know what to do with him. It is such a monumental problem. Like, I don't think any team has an issue quite like the Oilers have with Jack Campbell. So
I would argue that Sergei Bobrovsky might be up there.
but they have Spencer Knight, and I think Bobrovsky has proven in the past that he's been good. I know the contract with Bobrovsky is more expensive. The thing with Campbell is older. He came on really late in his career. Like, he was in the AHL with LA, whatever. And Campbell mentally just wears every single goal so hard. Like, you knew when that first goal went in, you feel so bad. And I don't want to sit here piling on the guy. But, oh my God, it's getting to a point where, like, I truly don't, like, I'm starting to see a lot of talk of buy him out, which you obviously cannot do. But yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with that. Like, to me, it's just
and I think that it actually like I am a Toronto Maple Leafs hater through and through. Like, if there's one Toronto Maple Leafs hater in the world, it's me. I'm here. And last year, like, they didn't get enough credit for being as good of a 5-on-5 team as they were, because everyone was like, Jack Campbell's so good. He wasn't. Like, he was fine. Like you said, he's okay at, those further out chances. But if your goalie can't make those high danger saves, your team is not going to succeed. And that's the thing that Connor Hellebuyck's like that's why he's so good, right? Is that because he's able to bail out your team. And like you said, I think this started from the Neil Pionk goal that we're talking about, right? That also hilarious because like 4 guys that should be on that power play unit are hurt. So Neil Pionk is on an NHL team's first power play unit, not playing the point. Hilarious, whatever. Connor Hellebuyck makes that save every day of the week. Jack Campbell maybe last year makes that save, maybe could make that save, but he didn't. And that's the thing, is he didn't when he really, really needed to, especially with the way that the special teams have been going. Winnipeg Jets don't, like, if you're the Oilers, you don't want to give them momentum on the power play. If you're the Oilers, you want to keep the momentum that you have on your penalty kill. So giving that up is huge. And it's not great. It's not a good start for, opening goal.
Horrible opening goal. Because again, if the puck is shot at a different trajectory and it just goes straight in the net, the problem is it goes right through him. And Campbell,
he was almost there.
and that just makes it 20 times more frustrating, right? And that's the thing. Like, that's why you see every single debate with Jack Campbell. There's this debate every start. Like, even the goal Kyle Connor scored, it's a tip, right? And you see half the timelines like, you can't fault him on the tip. It's a really good chance. Like, what are you supposed to do? But you're an NHL goalie. They had 1 goal on 3 shots, 2 goals on 12 shots. Like, the Oilers, this is the best defensive effort this team, this roster could ever give. And, like, you just need saves. Like, this team should be so far, like, the position in the standings should be completely swapped. Like, the Oilers should be way higher up. I assume the Jets are still up in the standings. I didn't check. Okay, cool. But no, they the Oilers should be way better than they are, and Campbell's sadly one of the main reasons why they're not. Obviously, one of the positives of this game today, for at least for Oilers' perspective, Klim Kostin again coming through with the huge depth goal. The Oilers are a team notorious for being a 2-man team, and you're missing one of those horses. So to have Kostin step up again, phenomenal. But, like, this is just encompasses the entire game, right? Kostin finally breaking that Woodcroft barrier. He's getting more and more time on ice. He's on for the power play right at the end of the game. Like, Woodcroft trusts him to tie it. And what happens? Not only do the Oilers hit the crossbar, lose the game, Klim Kostin falls into the boards. Looks like he sprained I don't know if it's a high ankle sprain or he just broke his ankle or whatever, but he looked to be in a lot of pain. To me, that looks like, again, not a doctor by any means, but anywhere, I think 2 to 6 weeks. He's going to miss some games, regardless of how many. So that really sucks. That just adds salt in the wound to another shitty part to this loss. Like, I'm really struggling to find a positive here to talk about, for at least from the Oilers' perspective, and even for you. But
well, no, I would say no, but for you, I think you did bring up a really good point about how, when you're a team and you're looking for, obviously what you're good at and have all these things. And when you see the things that you're notoriously not good at being good for a change, it's like, at least these guys are capable of this.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's not consistent, but it's there, sort of thing. So I think, the 5-on-5 defense is definitely something worth noting for the Edmonton Oilers, because if that team can shore up their 5-on-5 defense play, who cares if their goalies are mid. Obviously, they need to be a little bit better, but it
Mhm.
changes a lot of things because then you have less of those high danger chances coming in
Totally.
because you're blocking out these guys. And like for example, that Cal Connor goal in particular, I thought the body positioning of that defender, I don't remember which one it was good. But
Well, like if
oh
you look at this game specifically, like the Oilers, the high danger chances in this game, the Oilers finished the game with 11 high danger chances for and 3 high danger chances against. Like you should not lose games like that, right? Like to me, that just says Connor Hellebuyck stole the game. Obviously, there was more to it. I know you wanted to talk about Ville Heinola before the game. How did you think he
always.
played?
Well, I saw this one tweet that was just so funny. So they're like, wow, Ville Heinola has a 34% expected goals tonight, and it's pretty much the best of all the defenders on the team. So Ville Heinola wasn't that good tonight, but everyone else was also bad. So I thought he was fine. Like there were a lot of instances. I found that there were a couple times. Sam Gagne, I texted you about that one pizza that he served up early on, and then Brendan Dillon had another one on the power play, and twice Ville Heinola had to defend a 2-on-1 shorthanded chance, and he defended it extremely well. No shot was given, and it's not all him entirely, but Ville Heinola has been notably, to Jets fans, people like he's a defender who's bad at defense, like because he's really good on like the power play and all those kinds of things. So seeing that is always super encouraging. I thought he was fine tonight. Again, nothing to write home about, but I'm not writing home about anything that happened from a team that has 14 shots against. Yeah.
Well, I mean, for me, even I don't know if this is the play that you're talking about. For me, like I noticed Ville Heinola like more in the defensive end. Like for me, like there was a play I think or later in the third period where Ryan McLeod, who can really fly, like he's McDavid like. He's an uncovered gem. A lot of people outside the Edmonton market don't talk about him enough, but he can fly and he has really good puck skills. And he came flying down the ice, and Ville Heinola. And he created this one-on-one situation, and Ville Heinola got the stick in the lane and deflected his chance over the glass or whatever. And I thought that was a really good defensive play, right? So exactly, like to me, I noticed him and Morrissey also, but like he makes to me, like obviously Hellebuyck was fantastic, but I think if the Jets don't have Morrissey, they don't win this game. Like Morrissey, I think was crucial in so many defensive situations. Like even at the end of the game, I know Yamamoto hit the crossbar, but every time, even on McDavid rushes, like you would see, McDavid can fly circles and circles around the zone, and Morrissey had the green light just to follow him all the way up to the blue line, and he's such a good skater. He can actually, relatively stay with McDavid, which is super impressive. You literally don't see any defenseman who can do that. So to me, that was a little frustrating, to be honest with you. But overall,
Happy New Year, by the way.
Oh, Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Oh, yes. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. For me, 11 p.m. I got 1 hour. So after I finish the stream, I got to run to the bar, go meet all my friends.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm just quickly pulling up the expected goals here, and it looks like, I guess Morrissey still had a full expected goals against in that game with his pairing with DeMello, but I know what you mean. Like you said, the green light to actually challenge the players. Like I thought that there were a couple instances where the Jets did a decent job of, boxing up McDavid, because it's like you said, he's flying up the ice. You know what you have to do, and I think we've done a pretty good job so far of not making everything about McDavid, which I feel like out of market people do about the Oilers all the time.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of thing where it's like it's inevitable, right? Like especially watching the power play and stuff like that, like. Dude's a workhorse and the guys around him are just not fully there, but it's like, how can they be? It's Connor McDavid, right? So having the ability to, like you said, kind of match up with him and do that is huge. And it's great for the team. And like you said, like there are frustrating parts about the game, but I guess you're finding my silver linings and I'm finding yours.
Well, I mean, for me, as someone who's watched every single game that Connor McDavid has ever played, this to me is not like this. Like this is such a forgettable game. Even like from his play, like I know even if he put up 3 points,
that's insane to me.
Honestly, if I was doing the Seattle broadcast with Dennis, he had 5 points. I guarantee you we would have mentioned it once and moved on. I sound so horrible, but we are so spoiled with it. Like we literally, if McDavid had 3 points tonight, I would mention it once. Like I know out of market, it's so different. I see all these highlight reels and all this stuff of him, but it's like we just come to expect it. It's literally nothing new. And this game to me, like it almost was like McDavid had it. He hit the post. Him and Hyman were creating, but the power play without Leon Draisaitl allows the Jets to like overload onto McDavid, right? Because Nugent-Hopkins is a really good player, but you don't have those two guys on both flanks that you can you use to spread out the Jets penalty killers, and it just completely limits the Oilers power play, which is obviously their number one strength. Like they're a lot of people know them as the power play merchants, right? So
no, absolutely.
But
I think that makes a lot of sense. Like I think that power play being shut down on 3 separate occasions was huge for the Winnipeg Jets, and that's something I will shout them out. And it's like this year you could give me the lineup card of the Winnipeg Jets and be like, who's gonna come out on the penalty kill? And I couldn't tell you. I'm pretty sure every single dude on the team plays equal amount of penalty killing, except for like Adam Lowry plays more kind of thing. Like they throw everyone and their mom out there. Like everyone plays on the penalty kill, and I thought it was good tonight. I was like, okay, this is great. Like, and I can't tell you much about their PK systems in particular. I wasn't watching too closely, but if Connor McDavid's on the ice and you're not letting on any power play goals, I will take that every day of the week.
Before we continue on, guys, I want to say there's 43 people watching right now. We only got 13 likes. If you guys want to go hit that like button, I truly appreciate it. We got 13 likes. Let's try and aim for 30 likes tonight before the stream ends. Let's see if we can do it. So,
and I have a fun question to ask Zach at the end of the game, so you guys will have to like it because it's gonna be. I'm excited.
I
also wanted to talk about, like you said, out of market people don't always see the different things going on, and I would venture to say that Connor Hellebuyck is as important to my hockey team as Connor McDavid is here, just with the nature of, and it's the same thing where you're like, Connor Hellebuyck like goalied tonight, and I was like, I thought he was fine. It's like I'm spoiled that I see that performance and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, it drives me nuts because every time I watch Connor Hellebuyck now, I just think back to that time when the Jets swept the Oilers. But it was just when McDavid and Draisaitl were dominating. McDavid couldn't draw a penalty to save his life, and Connor Hellebuyck played to like a .970 save percentage in a 4-game playoff series, which was just absolutely insane. Like I literally have never been more angry. It's actually a funny story. Right at the end of that, at the game 4, the end of that series, the game that went to like triple overtime or whatever, when Kyle Connor scored that goal on Mike Smith, I've never been so sad. I was like literally in tears at the end. I was like, this fucking team, I fucking hate it. We're gonna lose. McDavid's gonna leave, whatever. And then I looked at the time on ice. I saw Darnell Nurse played 63 minutes, and I was like, you know what? Screw this. Literally that night, went online, bought a Darnell Nurse jersey. I was like, this guy, I'm inspired by him. And then the next year he signs a $9.25 million contract, and I'm like, fuck it, I hate him again. But anyways,
didn't he have like a child the next day too or something?
Yeah, literally, he had no sleep, played 63 minutes, got on like a PJ to Toronto, went to and just made the birth of his kid, which was like phenomenal. Like honestly, I shouldn't say him. I love Darnell Nurse. I really do. I want him to succeed. I thought again tonight he carried that. And this was a storyline going in. He carried that good play that he started up in that Seattle game, and he's continued on, and I just hope he can build on it. I think that also helps because last game, the play of Niemelainen, I thought tonight, at least for Oilers fans, the play of Philip Broberg really impressed me. Again, he wouldn't get too much ice time, but when he was on the ice, his entry denials were awesome, and that's key for the Oilers' in-zone defense. And his just offensive play. There was a shift early in the first period where Bouchard was just walking the line like a maniac, passing back and forth with Philip Broberg. And oh my God, I love that so much. And then the next shift, you go see Cody Ceci out there with his hands of stone and just dump it in the corner. And you know what's funny? I believe also tonight, one thing I should touch on, McDavid's point streak ended, I guess.
Yes. Yes, I saw that. I was like, milestones always against the Winnipeg Jets. Always, always. Like, what's his name? Ovechkin passed Gordie Howe the other day, and I literally would have put all my money that was going to happen. Milestones happened against the Jets. That was huge. I was going to bring that up.
You know what's funny? Because out of market, point streaks, such a big thing. I honestly, I didn't even realize he had the point streak until they mentioned on the broadcast that he had a point streak. Like, it's like, I guarantee you, Connor could not care less about that. And Oilers fans like ourselves, we literally, like, when McDavid has 17 games of a goal, like it does, like, no one is like sitting here like, when's the streak gonna end? Like, do you remember when Mitch Marner had that point streak to 20? That was everywhere. All they're talking about is who's it gonna end against? Washington, New York, what's gonna happen? Mitch got the empty net. Oh my God, the streak's alive. I literally, within the Edmonton market, I have never heard one person mention the Connor McDavid point streak, which to me, just to contrast, hilarious, but whatever, I digress. Anyways.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know the point streak. I forgot about that. I was thinking of, there was something about, like, it was not, I always forget about these records. They're so obscure, but it's like the consecutive games at home scoring a goal. It was like a goal streak on home games. He was at like 10 or something like that. Mm-hmm. That was like the one, yeah.
Yeah, that was a Gretzky record.
But dude's gonna be setting records for the rest of his career. Like like you said, I'm not too worried about him.
No, I'm not at all. I thought overall he was fine. I thought Zach Hyman for the Oilers, he's just a workhorse. He's always hard around the net. Nugent-Hopkins played decent. One thing again that drove me absolutely nuts was that you have this. The Oilers are one of the, like, I don't know about the structure of the way Rick Bowness plays the Jets plays, but on the Oilers we have this Ferrari that we drafted and we developed and we did everything right, and he's stuck in purgatory on the fourth line with the biggest bona fide scrub in the NHL. Like, I would contest there is no worse player in the National Hockey League over the last 10 years than Devon Shore. He is absolutely useless. I've said this to Dennis. He might as well have a ringette stick. There is literally no point of him having a blade. He literally can't do anything. 3 minutes left. The Jets are up 2-1. What does he do? Passes right to Mark Scheifele. Like, tape to tape. I don't think I've seen McDavid make a pass that nice. That pissed me off. Like, that was... Oh my God, Devin. Get out of the lineup. They scratched James Hamblin, who is actually really good. He consistently has a positive expected goals for Devon Shore, who literally is the team, like, card player, bartender, carries the bags. Like, he's an assistant coach that just happens to wear pads. Like, he is honest to God garbage. But, and I've said this,
how do you really feel?
Oh, sorry, and everyone, like MGD, Some Stranger, the regulars in the chat, they all know how I feel about Devon Shore. I'd probably go on a Devon Shore rant once. Black Massacre. Zach does not like Devon Shore. Yeah.
We've all got that guy.
They know, yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
4 giveaways tonight, someone in the chat says.
Oh my God.
Love that for Devon Shore.
Exactly. It's just, like, he has never contributed positively on ice once. I don't understand how someone can play like that and still get rewarded. And then you have a guy who's on the fourth line with him, who can absolutely cook. He has hands like, I don't even know, like, just silky mitts. They're disgusting. Dylan Holloway can cook like no one else, and he's strapped with these 2 cinder blocks to his waist, and he needs to cook with these bums, and he still does. Like, he's constantly creating. In the second period, he had 2 shifts back to back. Constantly does whatever he can. Passes to Devon Shore giveaway. Like, you let the guy cook for 30 seconds and it ends with a Devon Shore giveaway and a Jets shot. And the Jets only had like 10 shots. So, like, it's really impressive for that, garbage line. And then problem is you have Matthias Janmark, who, like, to me, suffers. So when I talk about the Oilers, this is when I can start ranting. Who suffers from a bit of Warren Fogel-itis, is what I want to call it. Like, you just, like, he can create something out of nothing. But he, no matter what, always, without fail, turns that something that he created back into nothing. And I know he got an assist tonight, but Matthias Janmark on that second line, I am getting so sick of him. You have Dylan Holloway, who's fantastic. Play him there. Oh my God. Wait, enough is enough. But yes, I'll let you jump in. But 52 people watching right now. 9 more likes to hit 30. Come on, hit that like button, guys. Happy New Year. We got some huge things planned on, at least on Game Over Edmonton. We'll talk. I think we only have about 6 minutes left in the Zoom. One thing I just want to say quickly to everyone watching on the Game Over Edmonton stream is Dennis and I have 2 big guests coming up in the next couple of weeks. We have Jordan Buhat from the show Grownish on Disney Plus coming to join us on January 7th against Colorado. And we have the first Indigenous Sports Illustrated swimsuit model, Ashley Collingbull, joining us on January 13th for Game Over Edmonton. Again, I think it's San Jose. So just wanted to throw that out there. Be sure to come back. Obviously, hit like, hit subscribe, and yes. But overall, listen, we only got 6 minutes left. I went on a tangent. All of you there. What are your closing thoughts on the game? What are your thoughts on the Jets going forward?
Closing thoughts are, for those of you who are Edmonton regulars, and shout out to my Winnipeg peeps in the chat. Appreciate you guys jumping on for this collab. I am a hater through and through. Like, that's kind of my thing. So I'll come on here and I'll yell. But you know what? This game, they were almost lucky to come up with 2 points, is what I'll say. But at the same time, it's like that luck is all relative in hockey, and they did a lot of things that they needed to do. Connor Hellebuyck was good. Penalty kill was good. They had something stupid like 20 block shots, and block shots, as much as I dislike them as a defensive stat, they don't happen unless your body's in the right position. Lots of different things that are super nuanced. So I was happy to come out with the win on that. I think that a couple players, Mark Scheifele is playing with 4th liners right now, and there's a lot of stuff that needs to get better within this team. Some guys are on the mend from injuries. We're excited to see what comes next. I was overall, not thrilled with that game. Like you said, it was frustrating. I wasn't mad. I was frustrated. And I think that there's a difference between those 2 things. So that's just kind of generally speaking my thoughts. The Oilers, much to my distaste, were a lot better of a looking team than I thought they were going to be tonight. I was watching them. I was like, this is the team that everyone's been dunking on because they're, a 2-player, this, that, whatever team. I was like, that's not what I'm seeing tonight. And I guess by the sounds of things from you, that's not exactly how they play all the time. But if they can figure that out and play consistently, that's a dangerous looking team.
It's injuries and it's I don't want to blame injuries, actually, because it's not injuries. Every team has injuries. Everyone has to deal with injuries. Even with Leon out, they dominated the Seattle Kraken. The Oilers are the most inconsistent team that suffers from below average goaltending on a night to night. You never know what you're going to get in net. But that's the thing. The Oilers, to me, are such a dangerous team, even if they do finish in that wild card spot, because we all know eventually Evander Kane, who is, I don't know how you feel about him as a Winnipeg Jet fan, but everyone has their own opinions on Evander Kane. Whatever. But yeah, like when Kane comes back, who at least in Edmonton is a 40 goal scorer, at least last year he was, and including the playoffs. And then obviously Leon is a 120 point player. Like Nick Ehlers and Blake Wheeler add up to what Leon Draisaitl is. I don't think so, or even include Cole Perfetti. And I think Leon Draisaitl's absence is almost a bigger hole. But again, I'm a homer. I'm biased. Yeah, I'm
a homer too because my team's bad, right? Like I think that's also part of it. It's like every player that was in the starting lineup for the Winnipeg Jets that played right wing is injured right now. Like they have no one. So it's like, like you said, it adds up. But we're running out of time on the stream, and I really want to ask you a question. And I think the one thing I will say is my thoughts on Evander Kane. He's a good hockey player, and that's all I will say. I could say so many more things, but in Winnipeg right now, it is officially 2023. So that is very exciting. Thank you, everyone, for sticking around with us and bringing in the new year with me. Zach, 10 years ago, we were ringing in 2013. How many Winnipeg Jets players in the 2013 Winnipeg Jets roster do you think you could name?
Okay, let me try. Because I remember in the first year of the Winnipeg Jets, I was born in 2000. So I am 22 years old. So I would have been 12 years old when they were moving from Atlanta to Winnipeg. Let me try. Okay, I am stalling really hard. Who is that Russian guy who had all the potential in the world and could never figure it out? And he ended up bouncing around. And Alex Burmistrov. That's who I'm thinking about.
Yes, correct.
There was the guy who was on Tampa with the big beard, and he was on the Leafs. What the hell's his name? Zach Bogosian.
Yes, that would be one. Oh, also, I can't believe I didn't mention this. Mark Stewart.
Oh, Mark Stewart. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, he was on the team too, but that was so funny. Again, like you said, we kind of just are in our own worlds with our own team sometimes. I don't even knew that he was an assistant coach with the Oilers, and I was like, I know that beard. Mm-hmm. I know that face.
Yeah.
I see that face in my nightmares.
This is the first time I've ever seen him appear on a broadcast too, so of course, it was really funny tonight. But yeah. Let me see. I want to see who else I can name. Let's see. Andre Pavlik.
Yep.
Was Kari Lehtinen on the Jets at the time? Was he there or no? I don't know. Okay.
It doesn't look
Mark
like it.
Scheifele.
It was around then. Yeah, Mark Scheifele.
Evander Kane.
Yep.
Blake Wheeler? No. Was he? Okay.
He's a day one. He was an Atlanta Thrasher. Come on.
Tyler. No. Was Tyler Myers? No.
Not yet.
Okay. Shit. I feel like I could if I sat down and had if you told me this 20 minutes ago and I was just thinking about it, I feel like I would have been able to get 25% at least, but I feel like that's where, oh man, there's a defenseman I'm missing.
Defenseman?
I feel like
the Winnipeg Jets have never had a defenseman play for them. Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking of. Dustin Bufflin, I think. Andrew Ladd?
Yep.
Shit.
We're down to the last minute, so you got one more. Who you got? Who's gonna be your final?
Oh no, I'm running out. Brian Little.
Hey, there we go. That's his jersey I got on the
There
wall
you go.
tonight,
Okay, awesome. Let's do that. Thanks for joining me. It was awesome. It was a blast. I hope you can come. I hope we can do another one, maybe on the Game Over Winnipeg channel. That'd be awesome. But until next time, I'm Zach. You're Liz. Where can they find you?
Twitter @LizHood, TikTok @Can'tSheSize, and just anywhere being an menace, all that kind of stuff. I will fight you. So.
And you can find me on Twitter @ZWheel97. Thank you very much for joining. Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas, and we will see you on the next broadcast.